If your SDRs are spending 80% of their day doing manual research instead of booking qualified calls, you are bleeding money. Today, I'm breaking down why most appointment setting processes fail in the exact framework that I've used to generate hundreds of thousands in revenue for my business and for my clients over the last 5 years. Here's the brutal truth. Most B2B revenue teams are stuck in broken sales systems. Your sales reps are drowning in manual list building, writing generic emails, and chasing unqualified leads. Meanwhile, your cost per appointment is skyrocketing, show rates are dropping, and revenue per rep is stagnant. Does this sound familiar? Now, if you don't know me, my name is Isaac Wood. I'm the founder of levergrowth.io. And over the last 5 years, I've worked with over 35 B2B revenue teams to help them generate over 1,000 qualified sales appointments and increase their revenue per salesperson. I've focused specifically on building go-to-market systems using marketing, lead generation, and advertising, building AI automated workflows that sell for you 24/7. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why traditional appointment setting is broken in 2025, the 4 pillars of high converting appointment setting systems, how to 5x your appointment quality without hiring more SDRs, and the exact metrics that predict appointment setting success, and an implementation roadmap that you can use to get started as soon as today. So this isn't theory. This is the exact system that I've used to help clients like ramp metrics, add 1 to 2 new leads per day, media contour book 20 calls in 3 months, Coley generate 34 calls in 4 months, and hook and ladder at over 240K in revenue. Let me show you exactly how. The old appointment setting process is completely broken. Most B2B teams are using the same playbook they've been using over the last 10 years. It works like this. You hire junior SDRs, you give them the same basic tools, and then you hope and pray that they can book enough meetings to actually hit their quota. This model is broken because reps are missing quota all the time, right? This is an 80-20 problem. Most sales reps are spending 80% of their time on the wrong stuff, super low leverage tasks, and not spending their time on selling. Only 20% of their day is spent doing the stuff that actually makes revenue, which is navigating conversations, warming prospects, selling deals, right? Generic outreach is leading to low reply rates, high spam complaints, poor show rates, and unqualified meetings. Rising customer acquisition costs due to high talent churn and broken processes. Not to mention spray and pray, which has been around for a long time and is even more easy today with all of the tools that exist. This mentality wastes resources and it kills brand perception. If you're just putting a list and a basic campaign in your sales loft and hitting send, you're just adding to the problem. You're not actually getting any better. So here are 4 critical problems. Limited market visibility. Most of the time, people are only scratching the surface of their market. They're missing most of their highest quality in market prospects who are actually looking for solutions and ready to buy. And they're often just using the same tools that everyone else is. And so this same boilerplate data is getting the same boilerplate results, which is just not cutting it. The second problem is poor data quality. Not to mention if you're using those data sources and you just export them, most of the time, a good portion of that, from 40 to 60%, is actually going to be outdated contact information or invalid. Plain and simple, reaching out to invalid or bad leads is just going to be a waste of your time. Further, people are not scoring their leads. They're not prioritizing. All leads are gold is a common thing I hear in talking to sales leaders. So what that means is every single lead that is in their funnel or in their pipeline is treated the same, right? If you have prioritization, you're going to have a much better time in allocating your resources so you can allocate your highest and best resources to your highest and best fit prospects, right? Not to mention wasted effort on bad fit prospects, right? If you're spending time on people who are never going to close, or if they are going to close, they're super low value, they're hard to deliver for, they complain a lot, you're going to have a bad time and increase the churn of your team and just creating that sequence of just negative events that just continue to happen. Broken SDR function, as I've said, right? 80% of the day spent doing manual tasks like looking up companies, building lists and sales nav, making sure that prospects are in fact a good fit, right? This is just gonna totally crush your SDRs or your account executives' workflows, having a context switch back and forth all day. Instead, what if they just hop on a call or wake up every morning and have a list of prospects to call? Bang. Super high leverage task there. Messaging that doesn't convert, right? Using the same boilerplate messaging, because again, it's gonna get you the same results. Oftentimes, it's just not good enough. And so because people are just sending messages, they're not converting, they're thinking that none of this process actually works. And so when they do, in fact, get a lead here and there, they don't actually convert because they are cold and they don't trust you. And there's no systematic follow-up process that gets that lead from cold to warm to actually want to be a customer. Not to mention this creates unpredictable revenue, right? Results depend on individual rep hustle, right? You might have a handful of reps. One is way outperforming the rest. You're going to be reliant on that person, right? right? There's often a result of not having a good system in place, right? If your team is missing quota month after month, it's not you need to necessarily lower your quota. You just need a better system that can enable your team to actually hit that number every single month on a consistent basis, right? So these are the 4 main problems that are killing your appointment setting return, right? So let me show you the data. The cost of broken appointment setting, it's pretty simple, right? Most revenue leaders will only see the obvious costs, but the hidden costs are what's actually really killing your growth, right? The obvious costs are the cost of the sales rep, $75,000 annually in salary alone, additional tech stack cost of over $10K, $500 plus per appointment booked, and 60% show up rate, right? Those are obviously going to be headwinds to success and can be easily measured. But the hidden costs, like opportunity costs of missing those high quality prospects who are in buying cycles now, the management time spent on coaching, and revenue team just generally getting frustrated, generally burning out, and again, churning at a higher rate, right? So those costs harder to account for, but are a huge drag on the overall success of your revenue team. So let me show you an example. A B2B technology client, they came to us, they had a broken appointment setting process, 0 qualified meetings from cold email, manual prospecting taking over 6 hours a day, generic messaging, they were getting less than 1% reply rates, no systematic follow-up process, and inconsistent pipeline generation. So if you're realizing your current appointment setting process has gaps, don't worry, most revenue teams do. The key is having a systematic approach to fix these challenges one by one. So here are the 4 pillars in how to solve these problems. There's a better way. Instead of hiring an army of SDRs, smart revenue teams are implementing go-to-market engineering. Here's how it works. 1 to 3 sales reps and a go-to-market engineer versus 10 SDRs for the team. 80% of the prospecting is automated by the go-to-market engineer, AI-powered lead scoring and research, hyper-personalized outreach at scale, and automated nurture and conversion mechanisms so your sales reps and your account executives can do what they do best, which is sell, not building lists, not prospecting, not doing manual, arduous, boring processes. First thing we'll do, ideal customer situation mapping. This is going beyond basic firmographics to identify the exact situations that make prospects ready to buy now. This isn't just about who they are, but what situation they're actually in that leads them to buy, right? So if you're thinking about traditional ideal customer profiles or ICPs, you might think company size from 50 to 500 employees in an industry like SaaS, located in North America, and we're typically reaching out to the VPs of sales or maybe a director of sales, right? So instead, you'll think about things like situation-based targeting. So for example, the business has been around 10 plus years. There's 11 plus employees. There's no active CFO on LinkedIn, which indicates a pain point. They might have recent funding or growth signals, which is buying intent. They might have a model that is more tech enabled, which means they value innovation, right? So this is just an example situation for an actual client of ours that we use to target and actually get them good results, right? So this client identified prospects with those specific buying triggers, and they closed a $96,000 deal in just 3 weeks instead of their typical 8-week cycle. So 3 times higher reply rate, 5 times better meeting quality, 40% shorter sales cycle, 2 times higher close rate. Sound pretty good, right? Pillar 2, automated research. We're building an automated data intelligence layer. Fancy word, let me explain. Pretty simple though. Instead of your SDR spending hours on LinkedIn and Zoom info, AI will do the research for them in seconds, right? So we'll use 50 plus data sources integrated across your stack, AI powered lead scoring, real-time intent monitoring, automated data enrichment, and CRM syncs and maintenance ongoing, right? So some of the key features here, company lookalike, job changes alerts, funding announcements, technology stack changes, hiring pattern analysis. So like imagine your SDR starts every single day with a pre-validated scored list. Time allocation before this process, 40% of the day, manual research, 30% doing list building, 20% writing emails, 10% actually selling. After this process, they'll allocate their time 5% data validation or less, 15% strategic planning on what they're going to attack for the day, 80% actually doing the selling activity, which is going to generate the revenue. The results here, 3 to 5 times more daily prospect interactions. That's warm conversations, social selling, getting in touch with leads who are actively engaging with your content, with your emails, or with your calls, right? 10 times faster lead qualification for any sort of inbound leads through this process, and ultimately a 90% reduction in manual research time. The third pillar is completely transforming how you message prospects, right? So instead of asking for meetings, you lead with value. This is almost a cliche at this point, but let me explain exactly what that means. Generic approach might say, hey, we help companies like yours do XYZ thing, help you make money, save time, right? Do you have 15 minutes to chat? This will get you a very low reply rate, typically less than 1%. And the meeting quality is usually low too, because they're like, what am I doing on this call? What can you do? What's your price? Usually all they ask. Now, if you're going value first, you'll use the situation-based personalization. So, hey, I saw you don't have a CFO listed on your LinkedIn page. You might be facing challenge, right? Lead magnets and case studies. For example, hey, I put together this super value asset that'll teach you how to get a specific result that solves this pain that you're facing right now, given your exact situation, right? Give them case studies, deep industry insight that shows you're multiple levels deeper than the guy who just came off the street and decided, hey, I want to sell this product today, right? You got to show that you can add value to the conversation. Do this by using lower friction calls to action. So instead of just saying, hey, do you have 15 minutes? Just try to get them to respond yes or no. Do you want to see this asset? Do you want to see this video? Do you want to see this guide showing you how to achieve XYZ thing, right? A lot easier to get that conversation started. Think about this in terms of just wanting to start conversations. You don't need to sell the end goal. You don't need to sell the deal at the end of the day. The focus is, again, just start the conversation. Do that with a low friction call to action. So this is an example of one of our clients. They were getting literally no positive replies. We ended up getting 4 positive replies for every 153 sends using this framework. On average, and as a benchmark, we shoot for 1 to 200. So this is better than that industry average. And, our framework was at 1 to 38, right? So that's a 2.6% reply rate overall in terms of positive replies. So that's pretty good. Usually we're looking for 10% of the total replies being positive. So that's substantially higher. 5 times improvement in reply rates, 3 times higher meeting booking rates, and 68% improvement in show rates. Next one here, dialing in every touch point after initial contact. Most teams drop the ball here, but this is where the real money is made. Responding within 5 minutes versus even just 1 hour can create a 21 times better conversion rate. Do this with a speed to lead system. Pretty simple. Set up 5-minute response target. You'll create automated Slack notifications. You'll pre-validate the contact data. And so basically once they reply to this email, you'll get a Slack notification for you or your team to then reach out and qualify the lead live over the phone. Because when somebody's replying to an email, often means that they're either feeling the pain in that moment and or they're available. So you got to capitalize. So do it quickly. Next, we'll do nurture sequences. Nurture sequences are going to be value-driven emails that are proving to the lead what it is you do, the social proof that you have, and giving them more info on your process and why it would be a good fit for them. You integrate social proof in that, include some behavioral triggers like if they signed up for one of your lead magnets or if they booked a meeting with you, right? You'll want to just nurture them throughout those process. And so you'll just do some ongoing, you'll want to do re-engagement campaigns as well, because if somebody's booking a meeting today, down the line, they might not close. And so if they don't close, but they haven't given you a no, that's a ghosting. And so usually people ghost because they don't want to tell you what the end goal is, what the answer is. And so you can re-engage with them over time. Something changed in their business, something changed in your business or your offer. And so there's a reason to reach back out. So most people actually forget to do this. So some results from this process, right? 21 times better conversion, 5-minute response times, 3 times higher show rates if you're using nurture sequence and you're not getting that same, what am I even doing on this call kind of question from the lead when you first hop on. And then 4 times faster sales cycle and a 40% increase in deal size. Not only this, but the benefits will filter through across the system. You have automated lead routing, consistent follow-up, leads don't fall through the cracks, and your conversion rates become more predictable, which allows you to scale more consistently and communicate to your senior team the results that you're getting and the roadmap to increasing and improving those results even more. So let's talk about metrics and management and how you actually do this with this campaign. You can't improve what you don't measure. So these are the exact metrics that we track for every client to make sure that we're always getting better, right? Primary metrics include the interested lead ratio. So again, the target is 1 to 200. So that means that every 200 leads should be replying positively to your messaging. Interested lead to appointment ratio. So we're targeting between 20 and 30% of those interested leads actually booking into a meeting. Then we're assuming a appointment setting and show up rate of 80%, right? So every 10 meetings we book, we expect 8 of them to actually show up to the call, and the remaining 20%, if they don't show up, continue to follow up with them with some no-show protocols, given they are a good fit, and they usually are, right? Close rate. Well, shooting for 25 to 35%. If you're closing at a higher rate than 35%, that's great, but it often means that your prices are too low and you can keep pushing your prices up to get back into that target rate. And then the last one is increasing your revenue per SDR. So we're shooting for a 3 to 5 times improvement. So how do you implement? Implementation follows a proven 5-phase approach. Most clients see results within the first 7 days of campaign launch. Let me explain. Phase 1, this is like the foundational elements. Audit your business, refine your ideal customer, create an offer specific for cold traffic. What most people try to do is slap a guarantee on a long-term recurring offer. That doesn't work because it doesn't lower the prospect's risk enough. It also doesn't account for all of the variables that are completely out of your control. So we create an offer that lowers the risk for the prospect, is at a lower price point, almost an impulse buy, so they can actually transact with you, become a customer. It helps decrease your overall customer acquisition costs, and it also just gets folks into your CRM so you can sell them more stuff, you can upsell them, you can downsell them, you can cross-sell them. And also we'll do a competitive analysis of your market, see what's going on in the landscape, see where you're positioned, and try to improve that positioning. Phase 2 is infrastructure. We'll map the TAM. So what I mean by that is understand all of the companies that exist in your total addressable market, and we'll build out those ideal companies. We'll score them based on fit. Then we'll set up the automations to make sure that we're sending out emails at scale, we're receiving those replies in a timely manner, and so your team can then be reaching out to those leads quickly. We'll be pushing any sort of lead flow into whatever your CRM is as well during this phase. Next phase, messaging. Week 2, build your value props, build our campaigns around your core value propositions, help you create lead magnets and develop that sequence so you can actually launch that campaign once all of your infrastructure is set up and warmed, right? In this case, we'll deploy the campaign, which is as simple as hitting go. We'll monitor the performance over time. We'll start to look at what is the actual reply rates, what are the interested reply rates, and those will be the key metrics that we'll be using to determine the success of the campaign and get better consistently over time. Then the last phase is scale it, right? So we'll increase the volume over time. We'll continue to drive down that target lead to interested reply ratio and ultimately your lead to meeting ratio. And then we'll scale it, we'll scale the volume. And so we can train your team and they'll be completely self-sufficient in this process so they can do this and run these campaigns on their own. I'm sure you're gonna ask, like, what's the tech stack for this process? Pretty simple. We use Clay for data enrichment, automation, Smart Lead to actually send the emails, CRM, whatever it is you use. I like Close. HubSpot's great too. Salesforce is obviously the standard enterprise option. You got Slack for notifications, and then using Make or Zapier for the workflows. All right, so let's talk about some key mistakes that people make that can kill an otherwise good strategy. So avoid these and you'll be ahead of 90% of the competition. First one, trying to boil the ocean. Basically what this means is trying to go after every single one in your market. Say, hey, we want to go all the way up market, but if all of your case studies are at 100-person companies and you're trying to go for 5,000-person companies, usually doesn't work out for you. Usually you'd want to ratchet that up slowly over time. So you just ultimately want to validate this with one ideal customer and then you can scale it out, right? Get that validated, perfect the process, get your targeting and your messaging down, and then scale. Mistake 2, focusing on volume over quality, right? Quality leads are what you want, especially early on, then scale over time. If you have 25 leads and one of them is going to be high quality, then you're going to be wasting a lot of time. But if you have 5 leads, 4 of those are great quality and one of those is less good quality, you're going to have much better chance of closing. You're going to actually end up making more revenue, right? Mistake 3, neglecting follow-up. 80% of sales happens after 5+ touch points. Reviewing campaigns with one of my clients, we saw a very consistent trend. Meeting bookings were happening after 10 prospect touches. This means the lead was getting contacted 10 times before they ever did anything. This means you have to follow up, right? It's super, super important, and this cannot be understated how important it really is. The last mistake is not measuring the right metrics. So vanity metrics like what's our click rate or what's our open rate. Those are not going to be showing you what your actual end goal of revenue is. Look upstream. Look at your volume. So how many emails you're sending. Look at your total replies. Look at how many of those are interested. Look how many of those booked meetings, how many of those showed up, how many of those were qualified, how many of those actually closed into deals, right? Think about conversions, not just activities. Again, focusing on things like open rates is also manipulated because of the way spam filters work these days. So I've just given you the framework, but implementing the system requires specific tools, workflows, and expertise. If you want to see how we can help build this exact system for your team so you can start booking 10 to 20 qualified calls every single month, then book a strategy call with us. I will actually personally hop on that call. We'll audit your current process and show you exactly what gaps are, give you a couple case studies, and show you exactly what could be possible for you, how we can fix it, and how we can actually help you hit those goals. That sounds good. Book a call. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you then. Peace.